Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. So today is actually, again, one of those hauls that is from 2020 that I'm putting out for you guys in 2021. I'm still going on with my no buy slash low buy, so these are just ones that I've saved to share with you and kind of spread out because I had a bunch of hauls in December, kind of to get myself prepped for the year, I suppose. So I hope you guys enjoy. We have 4 fragrances to talk about, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first one's actually a sample I got in my order. This entire order is from FRAGBUY. I always have my code for FRAGBUY. If you've never ordered from them before and you live in Canada or the United States, it's always in my description box. So I got a sample of More Than Words by Xerjoff, and honestly, I have not had the best experience with Xerjoff. I have 3 of their fragrances, and it's all right. I just feel like they're a bit personally overpriced for the experience I've had. I mean, they're okay, but I didn't end up wearing any one of those 3 as much as I thought I would, unfortunately. So More Than Words is an oud fragrance, so I was a little more hopeful about it, and it's got oud fruit notes, it's got some florals and rose in there, ambergris, labdanum, and amber. And honestly, I sprayed it here earlier on today, so I know a little bit about the opening, and then now it's a lot more of the dry down. The dry down I like more, for sure. But again, now that I've sampled it, I can safely say I just don't think it's worth the money for me. It's a nice one. There's absolutely nothing really wrong with it. It's a bit of a sour rose ambery oud fragrance, and I don't get a lot of oud in the opening. Now there's a stronger oud, I feel like, but in the opening it was a lot more of like a sour rose woody amber fragrance, and it was a bit spiced as well. And I just thought it was a pretty, I don't even want to say generic, but it was a pretty safe fragrance. It wasn't anything special. It didn't wow me, and I'm not I don't mind like tart fragrances if it's like rhubarb or some citrus, but it's not an automatic win for me, and I don't like the sourness in this. I much prefer the dry down because the sourness has, gone away. It's kind of like I don't like the sourness in Oud d'Ambroisie by Maison Lancôme with honey. It's something about that's put me off. So personally, I would never get a full bottle of this, but I like having the sample. I can compare to other things, and it's just a safe way not to have gotten pulled in by the notes, because I'm a pretty big sucker for oud fragrances in general, and that one, it's just not for me. So I'm happy it's just a sample. Then we get to Marc Jacobs Cotton, and this is a fragrance range. There was like Rain, I think, and maybe some others that Marc Jacobs had come up with. I'd seen them in Sephora, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what their scent was, but I remember, because I'm such a fan of like white, clean, musky scents, I remember having liked them. I just can't really recall. So it's pretty much a first impression all over again. And these are eau de toilettes, and it's been discontinued, and I thought I'd just pick it up. I've had it in my like wish list, and I put it in and out of my cart often, and then this time I just, before my no buy, bit the bullet. And so this is white peach, bergamot, mandarin, orange, cotton flower, lavender, musk, lily of the valley, white suede, white woods, and sandalwood. So I imagine I will like it. I also actually really like the bottle. It's got like rounded edges. It's very sleek and clean, and something about it reminds me of Gucci too. It's not that kind of vibe, but I don't know. I enjoy, for like a simple bottle, when you're in the mood for like a simplistic bottle, I really like it. And the cap isn't as light as it could be. It is plastic, but it's not as light as it could be. So we will try it out. Hopefully it's as much of a win as I was hoping and I'm expecting. Oh wow. It's definitely fruitier than I thought, which, I mean, makes sense with the peach and bergamot, mandarin and orange, but in the opening, it definitely is a bit soft fruits, and like soapy, clean musk. It doesn't smell like laundry. I feel like clean scents can go musky, they can go soapy, or they can go like laundry detergenty, and I guess a million other ways, but right now it's smelling a lot more like citrus fruits, clean citrus, and a soapy feel. I imagine, and this is just an assumption I have because it's a first impression, I imagine it'll get a little bit more musky and soft as it wears on the skin. But I do like it, and it's really, I wasn't expecting to smell so much of that mandarin and orange. I don't know why, I just got it in my head that I felt like it was a much more musky, soapy fragrance. I think I was imagining it to be closer to something like Clair de Musc by Sur le Temps, but it's not. It's definitely got that citrusy opening, and I don't really get as much peach as I do the mandarin and orange. So yeah, that is Marc Jacobs Cotton, and I'm really glad to have this as part of my collection. All right, then we move on to a Thierry Mugler fragrance, and this is a range that, again, much like Cotton by Marc Jacobs, I have just seen here and there on Fragrance Buy and Perfume Online and all that stuff, and taken it in and out of my cart many a time. And there's not just one, there's a couple in this range, and for whatever reason, it came back into stock, and I was like, this is the one I'm gonna get, and then I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm really hoping it works out, because this is the riskiest of all four fragrances. It's definitely the riskiest. So it's Thierry Mugler's Miroir des Joyaux, and it's an eau de parfum in 50 ml. And this like Miroir range, because there's more and I'm really not familiar with it, they have like their own bottles that kind of have like that dagger thing going through. Here's what it looks like. It kind of like looks like a dagger, and they just look different obviously than the other Thierry Mugler fragrances, and they all look relatively the same, like they're in this style, but obviously they've got different scents. And this one has Bulgarian rose, pepper, bergamot, heliotrope, nutmeg, oud, patchouli, gaiac wood, and cedar. There are definitely notes in this I love, and there's definitely others that I was worried about, but what really pushed me towards giving it a chance compared to the others were reviewers that had said, two in particular that I had read, that said, one had said that it has a bubblegummy feel to it, which I couldn't see from which notes it would, but that intrigued me. And then someone else who said it has like a scented eraser note to it, and I feel like I definitely remember that. There's another fragrance I held recently that reminded me of like a scented eraser version of a fruit note. And again, that's not something I would have guessed from the notes. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a rich, peppery, like rosy oud, which sounds great if it doesn't go too strong on the pepper or the patchouli, but basically this is definitely the riskiest, and we will see together. It's got a very small atomizer, I have to say. Let's see what we think. Oh, wow. Okay, instantly, I definitely know what kind of scented eraser scent they're talking about. That is incredible that it's so authentic to that. There is like and it really takes you having used them growing up, because it doesn't smell plasticky. It smells like those sweet scented erasers. And it also smells like those scented markers to a certain extent as well. I also get the idea of what bubblegummy sweetness they're talking about. It's not in any way so like synthetic candy bubblegum, like pink sugar type scent, but it's definitely got a more realistic woody bubblegum, if that makes any sense. I really like how medicinal smelling it is. There is, and I'm not sure what note it is that's doing this. I have a tendency to blame it on the patchouli, but I don't even know if it's the patchouli. But there is something like bitter green that's poking its head through the other scents, which I absolutely adore. And that's the only thing that puts me off. I wonder if it's going to be the note that kind of stays strongest throughout, and then the heart and dry down, that's all you're getting, which will change my opinion. But if that's the one that fades away, whatever it is, and you get more of that, I don't know, sweet scented eraser oud, then I'll definitely be for it. All in all though, it's very interesting. Like as a first impression, I can easily say, having as many ouds as I do and having tried as many, even ones that I don't own, there is none that I've had that smell like this. Especially rosy ouds, I feel like those are usually the safest, and they tend to be, again, I don't want to say generic, but they tend to be kind of like the safer first array into oud. So after a while, they tend to smell the same, some of them, and you don't really need every other rosy oud out there. That's the reason I really like L'Autre Oud by Maison Lancôme, because I feel like they went bitter with it, they went interesting, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but my goodness, is it one of my favorites. And this one, again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's already softening up a little. I can still get that bitter green, like woody green note that I kind of want to say it's the patchouli, but who knows? But yeah, there is definitely an interest in there, and there's something about it that I want to keep wearing it and trying it out, especially now in super cold weather. I'm going to do some trials outside in the cold weather, because I feel like this would bloom really, really beautifully. So that is Opposite by Thierry Mugler. And then we get to the very special one. I have waited so long to get this fragrance. It's been sold out for a very long time, and eventually I will compare it to the other sample in question, but this is Lattafa's Oud for Glory. I am so excited to have this fragrance in my collection. I really hope it works out. It's got beautiful packaging. It was like $35, beautiful box, beautiful packaging. They really did completely rip off Oud for Greatness, but if it works out and it smells the same, I'm going to be eternally thankful, because Oud for Greatness is so expensive, and that is the sample that I can come back and do a comparison video for you guys. A number of you have asked me to do it, and now I've got this one. So this has woody notes, oud, labdanum, amber, patchouli, caramel, and smoky notes. And from what I remember, Oud for Greatness really smelled like a sweet, prominent oud fragrance, as if you'd sprayed that on top of Baccarat Rouge 540 or the Extrait. It definitely had a touch of Baccarat Rouge 540 or the Extrait to it, and it kind of came out after a couple minutes, but it was a really beautiful fragrance, and I'm like nursing that sample. I wanted to keep some so I could do this comparison. It really did stick around for a really long time as well. Even like through washing my hands and stuff, I felt like it just stayed on my wrist for a super long time. It definitely is stunning, but for the price, I'm interested in seeing this comparison. And we'll start off just in this video, obviously doing a first impressions, but let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing that comparison video. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll save my comparison for that video, because right now I can't really compare it, but it's definitely got the Baccarat Rouge 540 feel to it. In my opinion, this has started off stronger with that scent than the Oud for Greatness did. I feel like this straight off the bat smells like that to me, and a little bit less strong on the oud. Again, we'll definitely see, but this is like straight off the bat giving me kind of like a woody, medicinal oud. that is sweet and syrupy, I guess because of caramel, but it's definitely syrupy, and it's not sickly sweet, and yet it's incredibly sweet, if that makes any sense. And definite Baccarat Rouge 540 vibes. Like, whatever that scent does for you, whether you think it's dentist chair-like or dentist office-like, whether you think it's medicinal and syrupy, whatever it is, you will definitely get that from this. It's very much like an oudi caramel take of that. It's a beautiful bottle. It's incredibly heavy, and I think it's really stunning. I mean, they really did take the style of that. So I'm interested, even myself, to kind of pull out that sample and do a comparison, because I feel like they're close, but based on memory, I don't think they are identical. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this super fun haul. I had a great time opening these up. I feel like if I were to put them in order, and it's going to be hard, you know, sample aside, because this is its own thing, sample aside, they're all really close to one another, especially because I feel like they have such different vibes. All three of them have been wins. I will say I will put, maybe I'll put these two a little bit higher than this one right now, if only because this is giving me such strong Baccarat Rouge 540 vibes, like much stronger than I expected. I thought it'd be a little bit stronger on the oud as a first impression, that I'm iffy to see what it's like. I obviously love that scent, but I've just got so many in my fragrance collection that give me that vibe that right now I'm more intrigued to be trying out these two. And between these two, I think this is an overall easier reach for me. I think there's more days out of the year where I would wear this, but right now I'm most interested in wearing this one and trying it out because I feel like it's incredibly in season, and there are less days out of the year where I would wear this, so I really want to optimize wearing this in the cold. But all three are interesting. All three definitely warrant a lot of testing before the second impressions video because I feel like they can go either way. But I'm really excited. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!